ever considered how the health of your body affects the health of your soul? God made our bodies and souls with these mysterious connections to each other. Many of us have experienced how a spiritual high can give us extra energy to stay awake, or how the right use and stewarding of our bodies can bring about and help the health of our soul. So as you consider resolutions related to exercise, which are some of the most common resolutions that people make, because exercise is not easy. It's part of the nature of it is it's difficult. And so we're not already doing various things that we would like to do or feel like we should do. And so regularly exercise are the object of resolutions. Let me give you 3 encouragements related to exercise. Number 1, your body matters to God. 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 to 20 says, "Do you not know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit within you, whom you have from God? You are not your own. You were bought with a price. So glorify God in your body." It's an amazing statement that Paul would say, not get outside your body so you can glorify Him in your soul, but rather he would say, glorify God in your body. God has given you a body that He might be glorified in it, that you might experience joy in Him, that you may use it as a tool, that you may steward it in acts of love for others. So your body matters to God. Second, your mindset matters in exercise. This is so important for us as Christians. Non-believers enjoy and experience exercise, but the mindset is often what makes it Christian. Part of that mindset can be, do you have an active mindset and perspective on life? Has modern technology and our labor-saving devices conditioned you to want to conserve your energy, not get up off the couch unless moved by a force? Or do you have the kind of perspective that is ready to do others good, that you want to see needs, you want to meet those needs, you want to put this body to work and find joy in meeting other people's needs, to do good for others? That mindset is important. And if you wonder, well, how does the life of the body relate to the pursuit of Christ-likeness? We have that famous text from the Apostle Paul about bodily training. This is 1 Timothy chapter 4, verse 8. He says, while bodily training is of some value, godliness is of value in every way, as it holds promise for the present life and also for the life to come. And so you might say, oh, bodily training, that's small value. Godliness, big value. So I'll just put everything into godliness. My encouragement would be, what if bodily training is put in the service of your godliness? How might the pursuit of some modest, life-giving, helpful exercise help you become more godly? How might it contribute to your Christ-likeness and to your holiness? Third, joy matters in sticking with it. If exercise is just miserable, as it is for so many people, it will be very difficult to stick with. And part of it is the discomfort and difficulty. That's why people make resolutions and often fail on those resolutions, because exercise is uncomfortable. It's a challenge. It's hard. And finding joy in it, making it somewhat enjoyable really matters. If you bite off too much, if it's an all or nothing type approach, you probably won't stick with it for long. It'll be simply too discomfortable to stay with. There is an aspect of exercise where it's an acquired taste. And to acquire that taste, you need a modest plan. You need a little bit at a time. And when you have exercised and you feel some measure of joy in having done it, maybe it's just that you accomplished the task and that it's over with, I would say take note of that good feeling you have when you're finished, and let that be part of the motivation for taking up modest bits of exercise in the future to pursue that joy. Your joy will be important in sticking with it. So what kind of resolutions might you make related to exercise? If your life is really inactive, if you're passive, if you have a sedentary job, then maybe just taking the baby steps of counting your steps, walking, would be a way to go forward. You can find a wearable device, usually for low cost. You can count the number of steps you're typically getting in your life and set a step goal. Walking really counts. Walking gets the body moving, gets the heart rate up, gets fresh blood to the brain, and walking really does count and is a way to move forward if you're living a really inactive life. If your life is mildly active, you have a favorite activity or two, you might think how you may complement that with some other activity. Maybe you enjoy lifting weights, but not running. And you could think about how you might add some cardio to your weightlifting. Or if you enjoy a certain sport, how you might add to that some weightlifting, how you might have different activities that would complement each other, that would move forward your active life. Personally, I've been a runner for years. More recently, I've added just a little bit of weightlifting. And then one thing I have every so often is playing basketball with some friends, which is a different kind of activity and helps bring a kind of complement to the little active parts of my life. Whether you are a world-class athlete or living a very inactive life, perhaps the main burden I'd want to share with you related to resolutions would be prayer. This is one way to make it Christian, to pray for God's leading, His guiding, for the leading and guiding of His Spirit who's within you, to help you with the kind of stewarding that would be appropriate, that would be fitting in your season of life. And you might not only pray just about your exercise, but also develop a pattern of praying before and during and after your exercise. And many of us have made the habit and pattern of praying over meals, which is a wonderful thing, to thank God for food and ask Him for His blessing of that food for His good purposes in our life. And you might do the same with your physical activity. I've made a habit of this over the years with my running. If I'm setting off for a jog, I pause. In between stretching and beginning my running, I ask for God to help me. Not just prevent injuries, yes, that, but also that this investment of energy, this setting apart of this time would serve His good purposes in my life so I can consecrate my exercise to Him. And then if you come across points in your exercise where you're just ready to give up early, you might pray for help. You're not on your own in that moment, not if you have the Holy Spirit. You may ask for His help in helping you to endure in a fitting way, knowing when you're hitting the wall or not, and when you can go further for another 30 seconds or 60 seconds. And you may also pray afterwards. Thank Him for sustaining you in the effort. Thank Him for what He's provided. Thank Him for a body that works, however able your body is and able to do exercise. Prayer is a critical way in which we make our exercise Christian, not just human. Unbelievers experience the joys and benefits of exercise, but prayer is a way to consecrate our exercise to God's good purpose and to the pursuit of spiritual joy in and through bodily movement.